Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike here again. I just want to say something. I know I've been neglecting some of my entrepreneurs out there, some of the people who subscribe to me because of eBay. I know I have been neglecting you, and I've been just on this automotive tip. But I just want to let you know, it's because I think it's fun. I love cars. It's what I'm in business for, and that's how I got started. So this video is for those of you, for both, who are in the automotive industry or automotive, who love cars and or an entrepreneur. And I'm going to explain to you how I sold $58,000 worth of stuff on eBay in my first 3 months of taking eBay seriously, full time. And it wasn't easy. It was a long process, but I'm going to give you a step-by-step a story of how I started out and how I began to grow to what I have now. The story was, I was a substitute teacher, and unfortunately I was not able to get a summer job. Fortunately, in Vegas you don't have year-round schools anymore, and I wasn't able to land a job. I literally applied maybe over 25 places and none of them called me back. And disheartening as it was, I had to pay bills. I had like $80,000 in student loans. And I don't know if you know, but you get this like window of a couple of months to like deferment and to not pay. And what ended up happening was those started kicking in, and I was like, I thought I was fine, like, oh yeah, I could live off this. And then one of those student loans hit, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they were like, it was like literally a mortgage payment that was just tacked on, and it was really no way out for me. So I went back to what I knew, and what I knew was eBay. So I went and I literally sold everything I owned. I sold my TV. I think I sold some guns. I sold everything I had, basically, with the exception of I did sell clothes too, but pretty much everything to my name, with an exception of my laptop, because I needed that to start eBay. And I sold everything, some of the stuff locally on Craigslist, and I had about $2,000 to my name. And this was like, bills were due at the end of the month, and that $2,000 was probably gonna last me about a month and a half. And I needed to literally start flipping things. And I went back to what I knew, which was, like I said, was eBay. And I started to list things on eBay. I started listing everything. I started listing everything that I owned on eBay. I started listing my books, my school books, because that stuff is expensive. Those books college books are expensive. So except for like revisions and crap. So I started to flip those. I started to sell just junk, like my old iPod and stuff that I had, because I needed money. And what I did with the existing money was I had to reinvest it into things. So as you know, I started to buy stuff off Craigslist and flip them. I started to buy I just want to let you know, this is kind of because of my where I live. But I live in Vegas, so a lot of people do gamble, and I took I knew that for a fact, and I knew that a lot of people throw stuff on Craigslist because they need to pay rent, just like me. So I would go and I would hustle, and I would get it for a lower price, and then I would resell it, sometimes right back on Craigslist or eBay, and I was just patient with the products that I invested in. So after I sold, I started selling things. I really, selling on Craigslist wasn't that stable, because people, you're dealing with people. So maybe I waste my time going somewhere, it didn't work out. So I went back to like my original core, which was not just eBay, but prior to that I was into cars. So I was into wrenching on cars. I knew about cars, And what I did was I went to the pick-a-part. So if you guys don't know what a pick-a-part is, it is a junkyard that you basically pay a fee and you get to go into with your tools and you get to take out parts from cars. And they really have a blanket flat price for every item and every car that you get it from. But the beauty of this is that not depending on the rarity of the car or what kind of car it is, that $10 you might have spent on that one, taking that one part off, might be worth $200, like on eBay or dealer price. So I knew that. So what I would do is I would specifically target specific cars, and I would break them down, and I would buy those parts, clean them up, and put them on eBay. And I literally did that for like maybe a year and a half, 2 years. And the profit margins were staggering, because something that you bought for $10, could be sold for 50 or 60 bucks. So, times 5 your money, that's a really good flip. Just to throw an example out there, okay? And it's hard, but this is an item that I would always look for, and it was like worth a lot of money for the price that you paid. It was a CRX sunroof, okay? Now CRX sunroofs, they're not glass, they were made out of metal. But unfortunately, in the Midwest and the East Coast, where there's harsh winters and they put salt, all of them rusted because, the rain, and it would freeze on there and they would rust. They're discontinued, they don't exist anymore. So what I did was, I knew that, and I live in a desert, where there's, there was no rust on any cars. I would literally take that panel and I would sell it on eBay. And a good flat CRX panel would go for about $350. And I would go to those pick-a-parts, and then I would just literally get that little panel and I would buy it for like $20. And I would look for it on Craigslist as well. If the kid was parting out a car, I would look for that part. And I knew that flip was like amazing. What was that? Like at least 14 times my money. And those were the types of things that I did in order to, build my company. And I don't do that anymore, obviously, because it's very time consuming. You have to go searching. It's like, like scavenger hunts and searching for these things. But I'm telling you guys this so that you guys can do it yourselves. I know there's a lot of car guys that subscribe to me. Go out there, go start parting out these cars and flipping the parts for money. And it's something that I started out doing, and I grew my business to where it is, and it's something that you can do. So I'm encouraging you guys out there. So if you're an eBay, your subscriber that subscribes to me because of my eBay videos, you guys got to get out there. You guys got to start flipping on Craigslist. You guys need to find things to sell. And if you guys are in the automotive industry, hey man, there's money to be made out there off of like rare used parts. So go out there and make some money, guys. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Until next time, take care.